Hey everyone, Sam over at Head Trash Anonymous. I have an interesting topic for you today. Do you take your thoughts as fact or fiction? I know personally I took my thoughts as fact. And when I did this, I was a very sick, disabled man for 38 years. Because I didn't know any better. I didn't have the awareness to see that I'm not all these thoughts that say I'm not good enough, I'm not measuring up, you have to work hard, I can never get this job because of this, I'll never get the right partner because of this. It's all this head trash that we're addicted to, all this mental noise. And we need to get some separation from that noise. I remember seeing this psychiatrist, I guess for over 20 years I was seeing him for my bipolar. And it was always, medicine, take this, take this. He never once said to me that I can remember was, hey, why are you taking your thoughts as facts, as your truth? Never suggested meditation, mindfulness, all these different ways to get out of the mind. Because when we get out of the mind, it improves our mental and physical health. Our overall, our well-being is much better when we can see that, hey, I have all these thoughts, but most of these thoughts are nonsense. I don't need to take them as facts, as my truth. We can let go of all of them. And it's rather simple. The mind likes complexity. And that's part of the head trash as well, is complexity. That this is difficult. Oh, I have MS. And all these thousands of stories I had about MS. Well, one day, I saw that this was just nonsense, head trash. And I was able to let go of those stories. And now there's no more MS. My doctors can't explain it. It's gone. And a lot of people cannot accept that because they're so ingrained, so addicted to their thoughts. There's no other truth. And that's the danger of taking your thoughts as fact. There's no other room for other opinions, other influences to come in. You just latched onto that. This is my truth. I'm not changing. But you have to realize the only way you can change your life is by getting out of those stories that are keeping you trapped in that life you do not want. To separate yourself from I just have thoughts. They're not facts. They're interesting, but they're not necessarily my truth. They're not facts. They're just the mind doing what the mind does, random, detached thoughts. They don't usually tell the stream. You look around like, oh, this is wrong, that's wrong. Oh, I don't like this over here. That person, he makes me upset. And the mind just keeps going on and on and on. We just need to drop all of that, to learn to be here in this moment. So this is how we improve ourselves, is by being here in this moment. It sounds too simple. The mind loves complexity. The complexity is head trash. It's fiction. We need to let that go. And we let that go to realize I'm sitting right now, I'm listening. My feet are on the floor. You're grounded. You're here in this moment. But we make it so difficult when it doesn't have to be difficult. So just ask yourself, why am I taking this thought, this idea, this belief as facts? As my truth? And you'll see there's no real justification for it. The mind will keep going with additional stories to support that initial thought that's not supporting you. But we need to let all that go and just say, I'm fine. Everything is good right here, right now, until the mind thinks about it. Get yourself really grounded and present in this moment. I'm sitting, my feet are on the floor. Really feel yourself in this presence and say, what's wrong with this moment right now? Then watch the thought come. And it will come. Then you have to ask yourself, is this fact or fiction? And you'll see that it's usually fiction. Like anxiety, stress, worry. It's usually the mind projecting the worst case scenario. What's the likelihood of that coming true? Probably extremely small thing. There's no lines chasing us today. But we get into the habit where we have to break the habit of thought addiction. And that's what Head Trash Anonymous is all about, was, letting go of our addiction to thought addiction. I think thought addiction is the most dangerous habit that we can have. Because one negative thought that you're taking as your truth can destroy your whole life. It's why people commit suicide, why they have these mental health crises. Because they're taking these couple thoughts out of the 60,000, 100,000 thoughts as fact, as truth, that life is too hard, too difficult. I'll never get this job, never had this relationship, this career, this finances, whatever it may be. The mind's constantly going. Even when you're learned to be here in this moment, the mind's still going. My mind is still going, but I don't react and respond to it. I see the nonsense. I see the noise. And it's like, that's not truth. That is not true. Where'd that come from? So the way out is always to go within and just say, does this resonate with me? Is this my truth? Is this my facts? They're probably not. The mind likes to pick up habits, opinions from other people, and just trust that you are not your beliefs, your opinions, your concepts, your ideas, your thoughts. You're none of that. We're not even this body, you could say. So take a look at photographs of yourself from the years and ask yourself, where did you go? If I'm the body, I can't be the body, because look at all these different bodies that I've occupied. So I'm not that. I am the witness to the thoughts. But we have to have that awareness. Without awareness to the mind telling us stories, fiction stories, then nothing changes. We have to see, oh, I'm the witness to these thoughts, these beliefs, these concepts. But it's all fiction. I know none of this is true. And there's a deeper part of you that knows this is not true. Your spiritual heart, your intuition, your instincts. That's where your truth resides. Before and after thoughts. You are that consciousness. And this will make no sense to you. I know it didn't make any sense to me when I was a sick man. I was completely identified with the nonsense. And I've worked with people, and I had to sit with them for hours afterwards because they were just laughing hysterically, saying, oh, I took this as my truth. I took this as true. Oh, that one time when this happened. And they just saw through all the craziness the mind led them through. The mind loves the craziness. The mind loves the familiar. To blazing a new path is scary to the mind. So just for today, focus on being here. Realize you're sitting, standing, touching something, looking around without labeling anything. Just like, I see that. And that's all you need to do. Just to relax. And there's no rules to relaxation. The mind is, once again, more head trash. The mind has all these stories of how you have to relax, or how you have to meditate. Just all these things that are not your truth. Not the facts. Just the facts. And the mind has a hard time with that. The mind's always casting bias, opinions onto the situation. That's why when people witness a crime scene, they all see something different because of this cognitive bias. And the way out of cognitive bias is to be here, to be fully aware of this moment, and to notice the mind's interference. It is this simple. And that's what I'm doing here with Head Trash Anonymous, keeping it simple. Letting you know that you're not really seeing reality. Oh, it reminds me, I saw an interesting experiment, if you will. I forget who did it, but it was rather interesting. They would show up these photos of different faces with different emotions, and people would have a reaction to those photos before they were even seen. Like our spiritual heart is always connected to all things. So it knew what was going to be shown because we're not really physically seeing through our eyes. That's another thing. Our mind is not really seeing. We're seeing what we want to see, but not actually seeing reality some of the times. It's just really interesting. All right, I think I'm just babbling here, so I want to get going. So hopefully this is helpful to you to realize you are before thoughts and after thoughts. You're beyond those thoughts. Just relax, Let it all go. Don't get attached to thoughts. Let go of the thought addiction. And just be here. You are enough just the way you are. Take good care. Bye for now.